Hello everyone, and welcome to History of the Ancient World. Today, we're journeying back in time to the sands of Egypt, to gaze upon one of humanity's most enigmatic and awe-inspiring monuments, the great Sphinx of Giza. For thousands of years, this colossal statue, part lion, part human, has guarded the pyramids, its silent stare holding countless secrets. But what are these secrets? What stories does it have to tell? Join me as we peel back the layers of sand and time to uncover the truth behind this ancient wonder. Carved from a single massive limestone bedrock, the Sphinx is an engineering marvel. It stretches over 240 feet long and stands 66 feet high. Imagine the sheer manpower and ingenuity required to create such a monument with the tools of the ancient world. For centuries, its creation was attributed to the pharaoh Khafre, who ruled around 2500 BCE because his pyramid stands right behind it. This theory made a lot of sense. The face of the Sphinx was thought to resemble Khafre's own, and the causeway connecting his pyramid complex runs right alongside the statue. It seemed like an open and shut case. But is it really that simple? Let's dig a little deeper into the mystery of who built it. In recent decades, some geologists and alternative historians have challenged the traditional timeline. One of the most compelling arguments revolves around water erosion. Look closely at the body of the Sphinx and the walls of its enclosure. You'll see deep, vertical fissures and weathering patterns. Some experts, like Dr. Robert Schoch, argue that this type of erosion is not caused by wind and sand, which create a different, smoother pattern. Instead, they believe it's the result of heavy rainfall over a very long period. The catch? The Giza Plateau hasn't seen that kind of rain for thousands of years. The climate of ancient Egypt during Khafre's time was very much like it is today, arid and dry. So, if the erosion was caused by water, the Sphinx would have to be much older than we think. We're talking thousands of years older, pushing its origins back to a time before the dynastic pharaohs, perhaps as far back as 10,000 BCE or even earlier. This idea, known as the Sphinx water erosion hypothesis, is incredibly controversial. It would completely rewrite our understanding of ancient history and suggest the existence of a sophisticated civilization long before the Egyptians as we know them. Mainstream Egyptologists, however, remain unconvinced. They point to other potential causes for the weathering, such as groundwater seepage, chemical reactions in the limestone, or even the initial quarrying process itself. They also emphasize the lack of any other archaeological evidence for such an advanced, prehistoric culture. The debate rages on, a true clash of scientific disciplines. Now, let's talk about that famous face. For a long time, everyone assumed it was Khafre, but detailed forensic analysis has cast doubt on that theory. When you compare the proportions of the Sphinx's face to known statues of Khafre, they don't quite match up. The Sphinx has a more prominent jawline and a different facial structure. This has led some to propose that the Sphinx was actually built by Khafre's father, Khufu, the builder of the Great Pyramid. Or perhaps it was his older brother, Djedefre. Some even suggest the face was originally that of a lion or another god, and a later pharaoh had it recarved in their own image. This could explain why the head seems disproportionately small compared to the massive lion body. Was it a renovation project from a later era? The evidence is tantalizing but inconclusive, leaving the true identity of the face another one of its enduring puzzles. And what about what might be hidden beneath this colossal statue? Legends and esoteric texts have long spoken of secret chambers and hidden passages within or under the Sphinx. The most famous of these is the Hall of Records, a mythical library said to contain the lost knowledge of a highly advanced ancient civilization, perhaps even Atlantis. These stories gained traction in the 20th century, particularly through the readings of the psychic Edgar Cayce, who predicted its discovery. While it might sound like something out of a fantasy novel, modern science has actually given us some intriguing clues. In the 1990s, several teams used seismographs and ground-penetrating radar to scan the bedrock around and under the Sphinx. And guess what they found? They detected anomalies, cavities and voids that could potentially be man-made chambers. One such space was detected near the front paws of the Sphinx, right where Casey predicted the entrance to the Hall of Records would be. However, the Egyptian authorities have been very cautious about allowing any invasive drilling or excavation. They are understandably protective of this priceless monument. So for now, the existence of these chambers remains unconfirmed, a tantalizing possibility that fuels speculation and adventure. Are we on the verge of a discovery that could change history forever? Or are these just natural geological formations? Then there's the mystery of the missing nose. A common myth, still repeated today, is that Napoleon's troops shot it off with a cannon during his Egyptian campaign in 1798. It's a great story, but it's completely false. We have sketches of the Sphinx made by European travelers decades before Napoleon's arrival that clearly show the nose was already missing. Historical records from an Arab historian named Al-Makrizi, writing in the 15th century, tell a different story. He claims that a devout Sufi Muslim named Muhammad Saim al-Dar, enraged by local peasants making offerings to the Sphinx, vandalized the statue in 1378, breaking off its nose. He was later executed for his act of vandalism. So, it seems a fit of religious fervor, not a French cannonball, is the real culprit. Let's not forget the dream stela. Nestled between the paws of the Sphinx is a large granite slab covered in hieroglyphs. It tells the story of a young prince named Thutmose. One day while hunting, he fell asleep in the shadow of the Sphinx, which was then buried up to its neck in sand. In his dream, the Sphinx appeared to him as the sun god and promised that if he cleared away the sand and restored the monument, he would become the next pharaoh of Egypt. When Thutmose awoke, he did exactly as the Sphinx had asked, and sure enough, he eventually became Pharaoh Thutmose IV. This stela is a fascinating piece of royal propaganda, showing how later rulers revered the Sphinx and used its mystique to legitimize their own power. It also tells us that for much of its history, the Sphinx has been a victim of the shifting desert, periodically buried and resurrected from the sands. So when we put all these pieces together, its uncertain age, its mysterious face, the possibility of hidden chambers, and its powerful role in Egyptian belief, the Great Sphinx becomes more than just a statue. It is a symbol of the deep, unanswered questions of our past. Was it a guardian, an oracle, a celestial marker aligned with the stars? Each theory opens up new avenues of thought, new ways of looking at our own history. The Sphinx doesn't give up its secrets easily. It forces us to question, to investigate, and to dream. It stands as a testament to a time when humanity's connection to the cosmos and the earth was profoundly different. What do you think? Is the Sphinx a 4,500-year-old monument to a pharaoh? Or is it a 12,000-year-old relic from a lost civilization? Are there secret chambers filled with ancient wisdom waiting to be discovered beneath its paws? The beauty of the Sphinx is that the mystery itself is part of its magic. It continues to inspire wonder, debate, and a sense of awe in everyone who sees it. It's a timeless riddle carved in stone, waiting for the generation that will finally unlock its secrets. Perhaps that generation is ours. Thanks for joining us on this journey to the Giza Plateau. If you enjoyed diving into the mysteries of the Sphinx, make sure to like this video, subscribe to History of the Ancient World, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the past. Drop your theories about the Sphinx in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Until next time, keep exploring.